More set. Alright, just give me 2 seconds and I will be green to go. Okay, I will give you a countdown, just let me go to the correct starting point. Okay, the run shall start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, hello everyone, my name's RealmCopier, and this is Burnout Dominator NG+. Basically, this category takes everything in Burnout Dominator, removes the boring parts, and leaves you with 18 races that we do. And I'm going to try and do those as quickly as I possibly can. We work our way through the 6 series that are in the game, because we don't do the Dominator series, but we do the rest of them. And I should have put my phone on Do Not Disturb, I apologise for that. And the cars, basically, as you go through, they get faster and faster until I believe it's the Race Specials series is the final series that I do, where the cars travel about 300 kilometers per hour versus the 240 that you see right now. Or 250, even in some instances. Yeah, apologies for poor internet. But hopefully my run quality should make up for it. I'm hoping. Last time I did this for a marathon, I got the world record, which is currently standing at 101.35 by me. And given that I'm a little bit more out of practice in this game than I was back then, I'd say it was unlikely that I'll do that again, but you never know. So basically, the way the boosting system works in this game is that it's essentially completely useless unless it's blue, as you can see right now. When it's orange, it's completely irrelevant. It does add a little bit to your speed, but nowhere near as much as it's burning blue. And when it's burning blue, you can chain it by drifting, driving on oncoming traffic, performing near misses. Basically, any form of dangerous driving will increase your amount of boost. And in NG Plus, we go through every single Grand Prix, so that's 3 races per Grand Prix, and 6 Grand Prix in total. And the first one is this one, the Classic Series, which, like I said before, is the slowest of the cars. But I promise you it does get more interesting. Driving without a seatbelt? Probably, but that's way too dangerous. Could you imagine what happened if you crashed and you weren't wearing your seatbelt? You could die. Imagine the boost when you're dead. Yeah. I can only imagine. So, this game's been criticised by a lot of people. Because basically it came out very shortly before Burnout Paradise did, but for a inferior console. So I don't know. Many people weren't a huge fan of the game. It flew mostly under the radar, and the people that did play it was like, whoa, this sucks compared to Burnout Paradise, because that was a good game. But this game's still good. And its biggest redeeming quality by far is something that I thought it was going to crash then. Something that I have deliberately tried to make happen throughout the run. I think there's about a 1 in 9 chance of it happening, if I remember correctly. And that is that there are 4 different versions of the song Girlfriend by Avril Lavigne in this game's soundtrack. And I've enabled them all. So I'm hoping that at least one of them will play during the run. And given that there are 18 races and a 1 in 9 chance of it happening, we should hear it twice. But as we all know, statistics don't always work like that. That's the RNG in this run, is whether the song Girlfriend by Avril Lavigne will play or not. I'm personally hoping it does, maybe in Mandarin or Japanese. Because it is in both of those, as well as the English version and the Spanish version of the song. Yeah, personally I'm really looking forward to the Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed run, as well as many other runs that are coming up this marathon. But I am a big fan of the Sonic game. So this track is Bushido Peak Reverse. This is probably one of my favourite tracks in the entire game. Well, the 2 Bushido tracks are because of this section here, which apologies for that window sound, I have named the Bushido S's because they're a series of S-bends which feature in both Bushido tracks that they feel so nice to do, especially in the faster cars, which I do get to do. Yeah, Windows sound is the new Skype sound. Whenever I stream, it's always the Steam sounds that catch me out. That's what they need to implement into Steam, is a I'm streaming do not disturb mode, like in Discord they have that. Okay, that was the first Grand Prix of 6 down. It went very well, I reckon. I think I only had 1 or 2 crashes there, a few losses of boost. But all in all, if every GP goes that way, I'll be very happy. So now we're on to the factory series. Which is, I believe, the second longest series in the run. I could be wrong about that. I know that Tuned is definitely the longest, and Classic is definitely the shortest. But I'm not sure about the rest of them. I'm pretty sure this is the second longest though. Yeah, that's the other thing, which I forgot to mention when it comes to the boost in this game, is that if you get a takedown, it refills your boost bar fully, instantly. So they are incredibly useful. Yeah, this track's Spiritual Gate is a huge troll, honestly. I deliberately take that corner wider than you would on an ideal racing line, because if you don't, you basically always crash. I have tried. I'm going to take a little shortcut down through here, which is also kind of dangerous because it has the oncoming lane, which you basically drift directly into. But it's the best way to get boost. Especially in the slower cars, you basically need near misses. Oh, did you spot one of the Burger King signs? I think that's what they are. Loads of people like to mention them during my streams. You also get your boost refilled instantly if you pull off a perfect lap, like I did just there. Which is a lap without crashing, which this one is not. Yeah, I'm guessing this game must have been sponsored by Burger King or something. I don't really know. Okay, this lap is not very good in comparison with the last one. Hey, what's up, Stare and G47? Thank you for the good luck. Gonna need it. I don't know, maybe Burger King are a fan of racing games. You never know. It's one thing I discovered recently, actually. From my dad, who was telling me, is that Nick Mason, who's the drummer for the band Pink Floyd, in his spare time likes to go to vintage race car meets, and in like loads of like vintage race car competitions he'll be taking part, which I just think is really cool. So I believe this is Tuscan Hills, if I remember correctly. Basically the way this game works is that for 4 of the tracks in the game, they have counterparts to each other. So there's like 2 different sections of the same base track. So you've got Tuscany, which is made up of Tuscan Hills, which is this track, and Tuscan View, which you'll see later in the run. You've got the Bushido Mountain, which is made up of Bushido Peak, which you saw earlier, and Bushido Valley, which you'll see later. You've got Spiritual City, which is made up of Spiritual Gate, which you just saw, and Spiritual Towers, which actually doesn't feature in this run, but is a racecourse within the game. And also the Autobahn, which is made up of just the Autobahn, and Autobahn Loop is the name of the other track, which I believe both of them are in this run. I could be wrong about that. And then the other 4 tracks are Glacier Falls, Ocean Drive, Steeltown Works, which is in this run 3 times more than any other race, and the final one is Black Gold Highway, which you saw. That was the second race I did. So yeah, not a huge base of circuits in this game in comparison with a lot of racing games, but they are very fleshed out, and I don't know, I just really like the circuits in this game, honestly, which is why even if it is a small game and is quite repetitive, I still think it's quite a good game. I think this has been a perfect lap so far. I could be wrong. We're about to find out, I guess. It was. Nice. Yeah, and apart from a perfect lap, there's also a burnout lap, which the only course that you will be able to see that on is Autobahn Loop. And the reason for that is because that's the only circuit with 3 laps. And basically what a burnout lap is it's one where you're constantly performing a burnout in some form of chain for the entire duration of a lap. And the only reason you'll see that, the reason you'll see that only on Autobahn Loop, if at all, is because you can only see it at the end of a lap, and that's the only one with 3 laps in this run. Not everything in this marathon has to be a car game, it just has to be a racing game or driving game of some sort. It's a race against time, it's not a car race against time. We've had all kinds of stuff in the past. Yeah, we had dinosaurs, we had snowboards, we had jet skis. I think we've got wave race again in this marathon, actually. Loads of different stuff. This is really good Tuscan Hills, actually. So yeah, that was a burnout lap, but you won't see it because it shows the finished icon. Yeah, even if they are quite tenuous. Like, I'm pretty sure we had Euro Truck Simulator last marathon, didn't we? So yeah, this is Autobahn, which is one of the 2 Autobahn-based circuits, but it's the longer of the 2, so there's only 2 laps again. That was a close call. Dude, I love games with loads of input lag. They're like the best. This game's pretty good, although sometimes it does just completely drop your input, or renders your inputs completely useless. Like if you tap a wall, it basically sends you driving straight for a length of time depending on how great the impact into the wall was. So sometimes it's impossible to avoid a crash unless you avoid touching the wall. And also it's difficult to predict where there'll be traffic, which is why you sometimes see me taking corners wider than you might expect, because it's just easier to avoid traffic that way than it would be by hoping for the best. Okay, so that's the second GP, the factory GP done. Now we're on to the tuned GP, which is the longest of the 3. It's got 3 long races in it. Oh, no, sorry, the longest of the 6, I should say. And it's got 3 long races in it. The first is Black Gold Highway. This is the second longest circuit in the entire game. You saw it earlier on in the Classic GP. And now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe you get to see it the other way around. Yeah. So that's the other thing I think I forgot to mention that earlier, is that every circuit in this game has a forward and a reverse iteration. And the one you saw earlier was the reverse iteration, and this is the forward iteration. But as I mentioned before, with Steel Town Works being in the game 3 times, okay, I'm dead. And I could not get any boost off. That's a shame. Okay, anyway, as I was saying about Steel Town Works being in the game or being in the run 3 times, despite that, all of the iterations of it are forward. So you see the exact same circuit 3 times. I'm not really sure what the point in it was, but I don't think they ever intended people to just play the GPs. So the answer to that probably lies in what races feature in the rest of the series. And this race hasn't been great so far, but... Was that a vertical takedown? Ha! It was. I rarely ever get those. Get a bit anxious there that I'm going to get T-boned. Oh, I missed the shortcut, and then I crashed because I was paying attention to the fact that I'd missed the short... Oh no, okay, never mind. Well, that was a completely useless monologue right there. Is game theory still a thing? Because if it is, then that's a real shame, because it's always sucked and probably still sucks. Also, I've crashed 4 times this race, which is quite frankly shocking. They have film theory as well. Jesus. Matt Pat just needs to chill out, to be honest, and just think about what he's doing with his life. I wrote to him once, actually, and I asked him to do a game theory on whether or not he thinks that Pac-Man takes place in purgatory, and that's why you're being chased by ghosts. But I'm guessing I wasn't relevant enough to warrant a response, so I'll never know whether Pac-Man does take place in purgatory or not. I tried looking for developer commentaries, but I couldn't find anything. What will I do, not knowing whether Pac-Man takes place in purgatory or not? It's killing me. I need answers. Okay, so this is Ocean Drive. This is the longest circuit in the game. It's only marginally longer than Black Gold Highway. But typically, runners of this game, which I use that term lightly because there's only about 3, cite this course as the hardest, because there are some parts of the circuit where avoiding traffic is just impossible. That's not one of them. That was just me being an idiot. But there are certainly some areas where it's just super difficult, because the road that you're driving on is canvassed by trees in some areas. Like, I'll try and point out one when I see it. Like here, if there was a car behind like these areas, you would never know. Okay, I'm glad there was another guy there, because I tapped the crash breaker immediately after I actually got a full boost back anyway, because I got an after-touch takedown. Okay, I need to stop crashing right about now. Is this the run? No. Nah, my PB in this game is actually really good. Although it can still be improved by quite a bit, probably. I don't want to make any wild speculation, because the last time someone made wild speculation about what was possible in this run, I completely tore that to pieces. Yeah, the first guy to ever do a run of this category got a 107, and he was like, "Oh, I think that probably a high 104 is the best time that you can achieve." So I did a run. I beat his time. I got a 106, and then I beat it again and got a low 104. And he was like, "Oh yeah, well you actually know like all the shortcuts and everything, so maybe like a 103 is possible." And then I got a 102, and now my record stands at 101.35. But I'm aiming to get a sub 1 run. That's going to be my ultimate goal, unless it looks like I can improve wildly beyond there. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen this run. I mean, if I don't crash again for like the entire duration of the run, then I guess I could still maybe get the record. But That's unlikely, I'd say. Okay, so this is the first feature of Steel Town Works Forward throughout the run. You'll be seeing it 3 times, so get used to it. At the end, there'll be a pop quiz. Okay, that counted as a takedown, apparently. Whoa, okay. Sorry, that was scary. Sorry if I'm kind of quiet for these races. I just like to focus on them because this is one of my strongest tracks. So, if I crash, I'm going to feel pretty stupid. I think I've crashed about, like, what, maybe 15 times? I'm not really sure. Probably somewhere around 12 to 15 throughout the run, I reckon. I know I crashed 4 times in that Black Gold Highway and about 4 times in that Ocean Drive as well. Ah, crap. I was trying to avoid that desperately, but I just couldn't make it happen. Now, in all honesty, I much prefer doing individual levels in this game. But that's not very good for demonstrating in a marathon, so NG Plus is probably the best category we have for marathon runs. And I'd like to think it was relatively interesting, just because of how technical it is, maybe. Okay. That's GP number 3 down. 3 more to go. The next one is the Hot Rod series. Hey, here we are. And sadly we don't get to hear much of it. Hopefully it plays again during a race or something. Don't think so. Okay. Technically that's faster, I suppose. Okay, that's not faster. I always forget that you can't squeeze up the inside in here like you can in most circuits. Okay, I'm just not going to crash for the remainder of this race now. It's almost as if I say these things on purpose. I swear I don't. Oh my god! I rode the wreckage of another car and like flew over the traffic basically. That's a good way to clip yourself out of bounds. Fun fact. There's your burnout lap. I promised you I'd pull one off, and I did. Okay, there we go. Oh, I love this song. Once again, it's a shame I'm not going to hear much of it. That's like a #1 recommendation by me though. Us v Them by LCD Sound System. Okay, another spiritual gate now. But this time I believe it's the forward race rather than the reverse race. Although I could be wrong about the direction. Nice. What? I have never seen that. I've never seen that bus before. I've never had that happen to me. As you can see, that crash was unavoidable. I don't think there's anything that I could have possibly done there to have made that work. Are you kidding me? How did I not blow either of those up? I was like right next to them. Yeah, this run's a bit of a train wreck. I'm probably on like maybe 104 pace right now, I reckon. My estimate of 110 is very generous though. But it does look like I'm going to need it. Okay, hopefully I just don't come last in this race, because it'd be nice to get some points. This race has not gone very well, in all honesty. That's an awful joke. Okay, that race was more awful than G47's joke. And now we have Tuscan View. I believe it's Tuscan View. I'll find out because I know what track it is based on where you start. Yeah, it's Tuscan View. In Hills you start on the bridge, but there is no bridge in view, so you start in that area instead. I cannot believe that just happened. Get there in time, I think. I was trying to figure out if I could get boost back, but it didn't seem reasonable. I can't believe this is happening. This run is actually appalling. I'm sorry that I allowed a run of this quality to take place in my marathon, no less. I just wish I wasn't crashing so much, you know. I'm trying to focus now, but maybe I should have been doing that from the start. I don't know. I try to keep a lid on the salt, but I think it definitely comes out when I crash as much as I've been doing this run. It happened in another marathon I did this game in. Although granted, that was actually my first run of this game ever, and I got the world record. That was pretty funny. Come on, just go over the line. Go over the line. Are you joking? I was like right there. Okay, that's GP4 done. You got 2 more to go now. We got the Super Series and the Race Specials Series. I picked the wrong car, but it's fine, don't worry. Because they all really go the same speed. So yeah, here we are at Steel Town Works Forward again. Yeah. Luckily, all the cars in this game go at roughly the same speed. It's just about how they handle, really. Well, sorry, no. All the cars in each series go at roughly the same speed, but it's just about how each one handles. Really, you want the sports cars wherever you get them, rather than the muscle cars, because the muscle cars are so hard to like drag around corners. You do literally have to just haul them around the corner completely. Whereas in a car like this, which is more of a sports car type car, it's not too bad. You just tap on the brake and then drift around. But yeah, if you want to get into running this game, I definitely recommend the ILs over the full game. Because not only are they a lot more competitive, but they're also a lot less sort of frustrating comparatively, because it's literally just a minute of driving. So this is Glacier Falls again. I don't like to say anything about how easy or hard this race is, because usually any time I underestimate this race, it comes back to bite me in the ass and I crash like 3 times. But at this point, the game basically demands as much focus as I can give to it, so I probably will only be reading chat during the loading screens. Because if I take my eyes off the road for even as much as a second, I'll probably crash. And even if I keep my eyes on the road, I'll still crash, potentially. Okay. I'm glad I'm coming to the end of this run, because I'm starting to get a bit of a headache now. That's one thing this game is very good at doing, is giving me headaches, just because you're constantly focused on one particular point on the track. You're joking. I had it and then I threw it away. This is terrible. And I have to go around the outside as well. Let's at least try and take fourth. Okay. Oh man. Okay, final race in this GP is Bushido Valley. Forward. Now that is a shortcut up there, but it's actually faster to go around the outside here because it means that you're more likely to get your full boost. Or that can happen. That was incredible. Okay, I need to not get angry at the game because I can feel it coming. This is one of my strongest circuits too, so... But it's just the traffic makes this game a nightmare. Oh, wow! Oh, that was almost so nice, but I dropped it right at the end. Those Bushido S's are almost brilliant. But sadly, I just dropped my car right at the end. I Grosjean'd it. This is a joke. I just want to be done at this point, honestly. Just mad at how much I'm crashing. Not to my knowledge, no. Typically, if you're out in front, you'll stay out in front. Nah, Verstappen doesn't just crash just off his own back. That's definitely a Grosjean thing, where you're just driving along and then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna throw myself into this wall. You know, credit where it's due. I'm impressed. I'm impressed that Verstappen managed to actually finish the Monaco GP, but not without crashing in practice first. So. Okay, so that was GP5 done. One more race. Oh no, sorry, one more GP, and then we are good to go. But don't think by any means that I am a Verstappen supporter, because after everything that's happened in 2018 so far, I am very much not in camp Verstappen. Okay, this race isn't going too badly, actually, he says. And I know I'm about to crash now I've said that. So let's just get it out of the way. Oh, maybe not. Unless I do something stupid. Yeah, nice. Okay, 2 more races to go. I don't know what this one is. Definitely never seen this one before. Definitely hasn't already featured in the run twice. I'm determined to do this race crashless at least once this run, though. I owe it to the viewers. Okay, that should be crashless. I'm hoping. Yeehaw! Alright, final race. It's Bushido Valley, and it is reverse. And typically this is the one I choke on quite a lot. I've been known to lose like 30 seconds. Sadly, we didn't hear much Avril Lavigne Girlfriend today, but there's always next time. Just wanted the boost there. Okay, time to stop crashing now. Interesting. This is ridiculous. Time. Sorry, I should have informed you of that, but that is time. $103. Whoa. Okay. Even better than I expected it to be. I thought that was going to be like a 105. 103 is not bad, especially for a marathon. Because that run sucked. Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure to watch the driver race that's coming up. It's going to be sick. And also watch whatever else is coming up. F-Zero. Banjo-Kazooie. That's going to be a good one. And Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed.